Aunt Cathy's back in the news. Aunt Cathy has a new ETF. So Aunt Cathy's new ETF is ARK Investment Management's Transparency ETF. So it's honestly it's a lot of like tech, a lot of the same stuff we've seen, but it excludes things like the vice stocks. You talk about alcohol, you talk about firearms, you talk about gambling, banking, oil and gas. So like it excludes those, but you have your fan favorites, you have your Teslas, you have your Salesforce, companies you would know. Their second ETF they launched this year, and I know we love Aunt Cathy. Um, is this something that you're actually interested in, or do you think this move by Aunt Cathy is just another way for them to generate revenue, and you just go into RK and forget it?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I think obviously it's a business move on their part as far as the fund goes, and it just gives them another area or another something else shiny for people to look at to take notice of. But I think still the mainstay is ARKK. You can look at ARKF and some of the other ones as well. So like a lot of people like the ARKG. So there's definitely options here, but at the end of the day, their focus is still disruption. So I think that, you know, ARKK has just a well-rounded set of positions in that fund that give you that, if that's what you want. If all you want is disruption, and no matter what market it's in, then just go with ARKK. If you're looking for something specific in a specific sector, then maybe it makes sense. But the transparency ETF, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the identity is here with this. Because remember, what was it? Was it ARKX, the space related one? It had some stocks in there that weren't related to aerospace at all. So like, there's definitely some of these ones that I'm looking at and just kind of scratching my head trying to figure out what's the point in buying this if there's securities in there that don't make any sense to what the theme of the ETF actually is.
Yeah, I think it's really for loyalists who like love, they want their money managed, and it gives them a few different options. They feel like they're doing something a little bit different, especially if it's in one of the lanes. ARKX was the one that was also launched this year, and it was like there was some stuff that didn't make sense. It also had other ARK investments inside of it, which was also a little bit weird. And that's why my thought process went to like, they're trying to just make money. And, not that it's a bad thing. I would probably do the same thing, add more funds, more money comes in. But I think the best value from ARK outside of ARK-K, and like, if you just want something, a fund that you trust and that they are really open about what they're doing and what they're getting in and out of and why they do their due diligence, I think you could leverage their ETFs by just looking at what they have and doing your due diligence on some of their top holdings. So you're leveraging their think tank and you're almost getting a little bit ahead of the game. And then you take, let's say you look at the top 5 holdings in genomics and you're like, oh, hey, I don't know this company, look into it more. I think it could serve more as a filter for the stocks you look at, because there's so many stocks out there. That's what I actually like ARK for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just looking at the stock right now or looking at the ETF, this actually looks pretty darn good. It was pretty rough there in the I guess middle part of the year, and it started to move back around. ARK has disruptors in there, but they also have Apple and I believe Netflix is in ARKK. So we've seen some monster moves out of the FANG stocks, and we think that they're going to be one of the leaders in the market leading into the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see, like, if you just want exposure to big tech and disruptive technology, ARKK certainly could be in that conversation. I mean, we just saw that they bought more Zoom down here in the 290s, and I think it was like $50 million worth. Just the ARKK did. So, if they start to make their way back up, start to bounce off of their strong corrections, this could definitely be one to just consider owning, especially if you're not that much of an active trader. This is a ETF for an active trader that doesn't want to actively trade. So it's definitely one to consider.
Yeah. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. And, Cathy's been hard at work. I think you told me she just scooped up some more Zoom on the dip, right?
Yeah. I just mentioned that. So $50 million worth of Zoom
Sorry,
she scooped up under $300.
sorry, I was totally distracted. Um,
It's okay.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on this and give you guys more information as it comes. Let us know in the comments which is your favorite Aunt Cathy special. Which ETF do you like? Do you lean towards? Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.